Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Raven Random Rants. This is your girl, Raven the Serial Poet, coming to bring to y'all a rant that is random. It is now Monday, November the 11th. The election has come and gone. I have sat here and wrapped my head around everything that has transpired. And the only thing that I have to say is I hope y'all realize whoever voted for Cheeto 47, y'all about to get just desserts. Y'all about to get exactly what y'all deserve because this is only the beginning. He hasn't even been sworn into office and he is attempting to make major changes to the United States as we know it. Um, I see a lot of Trump tards on social media gloating and boasting, oh, y'all Cheeto 47 has won. And what did you think that a woman of color would never gain office? Not even a woman would gain office as presidency. And, y'all might be right, but let's think about this. Do y'all really want to be gloating knowing that Cheeto 47, the only way that he can win is against a woman? Let's think about it. He won against Hillary, which I feel as though she won, but they don't really count. I think it's the college electoral votes or whatever. Um, so he won that, and then against Kamala, he won mainly, I think, to the point of she's a woman of color. But honestly, I think they need to do a very massive, unbiased recount because I find it funny that a lot of people are online on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook saying that they have tracked their vote and they say their vote is still in transit, especially the ones that mailed in their vote. So they definitely need to do a very massive recount. But I know Kamala probably really didn't want that responsibility anyway, especially the heat that she was taking. It's like she couldn't do nothing right. Um, but then, she's gone against Cheeto 47 that basically has bankrupted his business. He's going to bankrupt America. And you think that things are bad now. Since his since he's won this election, I just want to tell y'all Trump tarts, y'all could be bold if you want. Y'all could sit up there and buck up to us if you want. But in the words of my favorite gymnast, you gonna fuck around and find out. You gonna come across the right one. Because I just saw a clip on Instagram where I don't know whether he was Latino or white. He pretty much was yelling in this black lady's face. The only thing that saved him was the two guys that broke them apart. That's the only thing that saved him. Because I promise you, had he been by himself, no one was around, and he attempted to do that shit, she would have laid him out. Because what y'all don't realize is this is not the 1900s where y'all was going into diners yelling at black folks, spitting in their face, doing the most disrespectful, immoral things ever. You could try that if you want. You're going to be pushing up daisies. Okay? Let's get that clear. And the Latinos that voted for Trump, Cheeto 47, kiss your relatives. Because if he's doing a mass deportation, being married to a United States citizen is not going to help them. Having kids that's, United States citizens is not going to help them. They just had a guy that was like, asked the question, what would you do or what would happen if, the United States citizen don't want to be separated from their immigrant relative, spouse, whatever. He was like, well, we would deport them together. There will be no, oh, okay, well, since they're married, they could stay. They are about to get rid of all of that. And you know what I find just hysterically funny? It's the whites of this country, the blacks, the Asians, and all the other races of this country that have the audacity, the litigated gall to sit up there and be like, oh yeah, deport all of them, deport everybody, deport yourself, because y'all don't belong here either. Especially not the white folk. Y'all do not belong here. If there was enough Native Americans to take over this country, everybody would be evicted. Everybody would be evicted. But y'all think that just because, y'all rule in the majority, let us not forget the people that you think is riding with y'all is not. There are more interracial couples than not. So I don't know whether you thought Cheeto 47 winning was going to do any good for you, but it's not. Because if you're on food stamp, if you have Social Security, if you have Medicaid, whatever the case may be, whatever government assistance that you have that you think that he's not going to get rid of, trust me when I say it's going to be eliminated. Yeah, he started with the trans, the LGBTQ, because he feels as though we are pressuring kids to make decisions when, honestly, if you think about it, and I will always say this, I will say this until I take my final breath. Y'all say we pressure kids to be gay, but what does that say about households that have heterosexual parents or one parent that raised them from birth and they still turn out to be a part of the community? Whose fault is it then? Because in all cases, it starts at home first. Does it not? But y'all love to point the finger at us, just like when the counts came out. Oh, it's the black men and the gays. They didn't vote for us. They voted for Trump. Do not put that on us. Because we saw what we saw what he was doing a mile away. We voted with Kamala because we knew at the end of the day she had our best interests at heart. But y'all wouldn't know nothing about that because y'all would bite y'all nose to spite y'all face and then bite the hand that feeds you at the same time. So now that he's elected and Kamala's back home playing with her nieces, I have one question, just one. And you can feel free to answer in the comments down below. I don't know how it works, but I have one question to ask y'all. Was it worth it? Was it worth voting against your best interests to get Cheeto 47 in the office? Was it worth it? Because one thing about it is, y'all could no longer come to black women asking us for help once your husband, uncle, daddy, cousin, whatever ends up beating you half past your expiration date. We are not marching for nobody. We're not signing no petitions. We're not doing anything but minding our own black business. Okay, because y'all have the misconception that we was gonna always wear the cape. This is the last time that you Caucasians from the Mount Caucasus is going to make a fool out of us. We are done. So when you're wondering what happened, why we're not coming swooping down, saving y'all from y'all own white tears, do not ask why. You need to look to your other caucus members and get help from them and whoever else is affiliated with Cheeto 47. Because us on the blue side, or as y'all call it, the liberal side, the left side, us on this side of the blue, we no longer want anything to do with you. Okay? So don't get online, don't get on TikTok, don't get on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, panicking when things go left because things will indeed go left. And then we have 4 years. Ooh, goody. We have 4 years of bullshit where things are going to get high. Some people, more people, I should say, the epidemic of homelessness is probably going to go even further up than what it already is. Because let us not forget, he said out of his own mouth that, yeah, if you work over 40 hours, you would not be getting paid overtime. So where do you think that leaves people that work for the union or those who actually depend on overtime to make ends meet because 40 hours just ain't enough? It was so funny, and I have to laugh because it's so hilarious. What is so funny is they had a lady and she deleted it, but somebody screenshotted it before she had a chance to delete it. This lady was bold enough, a caucus lady, of course. Um, she was bold enough to say, "I am going to follow a liberal woman to her car, and when she gets in her car, I'm going to tase her in the face, and as she is passed out, I'm going to stand over her, laugh, and with a permanent marker, I'm going to write Trump on her forehead in permanent marker." That is a bold statement, and that is assault, that is a threat, and the fact that you are premeditating doing so only puts you on the FBI flag list because you wrote it online. It's been shared I don't know how many times. So yeah, your picture is out there, your name is out there. Whoever ends up, working with the CIA or the FBI, they're gonna check your IP address and find out who you are and where you are, and that's gonna be the end of you, love. So this is my advice to anybody else of the Caucasian persuasion. If you feel bold enough, if you feel valid enough, if you think your white privilege and your caucasity is going to save you from meeting your maker from doing dumb shit, do it and you will find out what a toe tag is. We on this side do not play for threats. We don't make threats. We make promises. Okay? So it would be of your best interest and your family interest to not proceed with hate, proceed with love. And we will make it through this 4 years unscathed, minding our own business, try to survive whatever recession, depression, whatever that Cheeto 47 is going to have this country under. And I just want to say for anybody in the government that may come across this, and I know they won't, but Big Brother is always listening, so they might. I have one thing to say to y'all. Congress, the legislator, the justice, Supreme Justice, Congress, Senate, all that. I have one thing to say to y'all. It would not be wise to sit here and suppress the American people, because you will find out that the American people will rise against y'all. And the last thing you want is for the government to crash. Because what y'all don't realize is if the government crashes and there's no money to be made, we pretty much probably gonna end up third world country, depleted. How are you gonna get paid if nobody's working? How are you gonna get paid if everybody's dead? How is the government going to run if there's nothing, nobody to run it? No money coming in, going out, nobody working, everybody homeless. Eventually there will be a purge. Eventually there will be riots. Eventually people will just not care about anything. So what will end up happening is a crash of the United States as we know it. Because people gonna get tired, people gonna get desperate, and instead of killing themselves, they're gonna end up hurting others. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's enough law enforcement to even control if that happens. Yeah, you have the military, the Marines, the Army, the National Guard, the Navy, all that. But not even then, like for each state, yeah, y'all might have like, people for each state or whatever. But considering the amount, the population is not enough. So it would be in your best interest not to provoke the American people. It would be in your best interest to work with us so we can make it past these 4 years. And honestly, I think after Donald Trump, we need to be single as a nation for a minute. I would say like we need at least like a good 2 years to figure some things out, to heal, to kind of cope with some things that happen. And yeah, we don't need no more presidents for a while, because every president that it seemed like it got. Let me hold that. Bill Clinton was good. Barack Obama was good. Joe Biden was decent. But the rest of these white cracker, Caucasian, snow bunny, pale pasty mother, no. Every time we turn around, y'all messing some stuff up, and then want to say, well, what can a woman do that we can't do? Fix things. You think that it's a coincidence that you know where your stuff is because women put them in their places? Women, I want y'all to go on strike for like a month. Don't cook, don't clean, don't wash clothes. Send your babies to your grandparents' house. I don't know. Just go on strike for a month. And I want you to see how quickly men panic when they can't find their socks, when they can't find their boxers, when they can't, figure out how to use the oven and the stove and how to cook this and how long you're supposed to cook that, they are going to be a hot mess. Now, unless they was raised right and was taught all these things, of course they will be fine. But I'm talking about the chauvinistic misogyny that have Susie Homemaker doing everything for them. They are not going to know up from down. They're not. They are going to be as lost as Mary's little lamb, and they're not going to be able to find their way home. But I know y'all won't do it because, according to the election, majority of you Caucasian women, y'all weak, don't have a backbone. Whatever your husband says goes, and you following suit with whatever he wants to do. So you're gonna stay suppressed. You're gonna stay drinking bottles of wine because you're miserable within your marriage and within the household that you share with this bastard. And I would say that I feel sorry for you, but I don't. You made your bed. Now you gotta lay in it with his misogynistic, narcissistic jackass. And I am so happy that I am a lesbian because I feel sorry for you, you heterosexual women. Because if I had to not have a backbone just to deal with having a man, I would rather slit my wrist twice over and jump off a bridge. Because what? No, absolutely not. I can't do it. There's no way. But that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to give my rantings about the election. Oh, and also I want to touch bases on this Hallie and DDG situation. I feel like this. If you don't have kids, you will not understand what Hallie is going through. The thing of the matter is, it's not the fact that she's saying that he could not take their son on a string. It's the fact that respect goes both ways. I'm pretty sure that when she takes him out of town or takes him on a trip or whatever the case may be, she hits DDG up and be like, hey, we're going out of town. I just wanted to let you know when we get back, I'll make sure I drop him off or whatever. But for him not to even respect her enough to be like, hey, I'm taking our son on, Casanat Stream and he got some gifts for him. I hope it's okay. I hope you don't mind, whatever the case may be. Communication goes a long way. And everybody will sit up there talking about, oh, well, that's his baby too. He don't need permission. Woo, 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 woo. He does need permission. Because let's say something would have went wrong. And Hallie finding out with the rest of the world that her son was on a live stream and something went wrong, something went left, and she don't know because she's finding out with everybody else. Now it's like one of those things where you have communication is key, and you have to communicate when you're co-parenting. Communication goes a long way. But a lot of y'all wouldn't know about that because half of y'all baby daddies don't even communicate or want anything to do with you or the kids. And half of y'all baby mamas pretty much is bitter and giving you hell, so you really don't communicate with her anyway. And probably go over there, pick your kids up, put the kid down, and leave and go about your business. But considering that these two individuals, these two young adults, have loved each other and he respects her enough to get on YouTube and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Whether she right or wrong, don't be bashing my baby mom. Pretty much is what he said in so many words. And I know it made a lot of people feel stupid because it's like, yeah, you thought what you thought was gonna happen? You was gonna bash her, and he was going like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got my side, whatever, woo, woo, woo. No, at the end of the day, she gonna ride for him. He gonna ride for her. She's still going through postpartum depression. She's still, I think, honestly, she really need to sit down with a therapist and get the hormonal basis in check because the more she talk things out, the better her postpartum is gonna get. Trust me, knowing what I went through with my daughter and things like that, and I was a teenage mom, so I had it worse because, child, it was just too much going on in the 90s. But give that girl grace, the same grace you would give anybody else that is not famous. You need to give her grace. And the only reason why it's a whole big issue, y'all have been pretty much bullying this child since she played the Black Mermaid. And it just trickled down once y'all found out, oh, we knew she was pregnant. Woo, woo, woo. So y'all mad? Y'all was mad because she didn't say she was pregnant. She was lying or whatever. Woo, woo. That's her business. If she didn't want to say nothing, she didn't have to say nothing. She said it in her own time, and when she said it, that's what it is. That's what it was. And so the fuck was she hit it? Yeah, I ain't do nearly as much of that when Kylie hid her pregnancy. Now all of a sudden, it's like it be your own people, you know? It be your own people. So give her grace. And that's the same thing with Krishan. Krishan trying to get her life together. But y'all just, oh, well, how many times she got to get baptized before she get it right? However many times she need to. How many times has God forgiven you for fornicating, adultering, coveting somebody else's wife or husband, cheating, stealing, whatever? He forgives you all the time. So you mean to tell me that he's not supposed to be working with her? I don't care if it's 101 times. I don't care if she have to be dumped 1,002 times. If she's trying, she's trying. And who are you to say or judge her on her walk with God? That's why I swear, like the internet, y'all folk with y'all selective outrage with different things and stuff, y'all make me sick. That's why I don't even classify myself as a human being, because human beings are disgusting and y'all get on my nerves and y'all make me sick. At this point, I'm just a big bundle of goddamn atoms and nucleus and skin cells or whatever the fuck. But I ain't no human being. I ain't even gonna claim that because I would never be coinciding or grouping myself together with a group of individuals that's just so judgmental, uncompassionate, just hypocritical. Y'all just make y'all disgust me. Y'all do. And I might discuss y'all too because I'm a lesbian or whatever the case may be. I give no two fucks. But what I will say before I leave out for this podcast is y'all need to find some type of way to coexist with everyone in this country because we're not going anywhere. And if you think lynching us, beating us, arresting us, deporting us, or whatever is going to clear things up and make things better, you got another thing coming. Because if y'all can't deport yourselves, don't bother us. And I know it's the undocumented and the illegal. I'm just saying, do not poke the bear. Do not poke the bull. Because I promise you, you will get devoured, decapitated, all of that. So my thought of the night is this before I leave out is in this day and age, it takes three things to coexist in this life: love, laughter, and compassion. And as an honorable mission, understanding. Without those things, you are lost in the dark, wandering around trying to figure out where your flashlight went when you never had one to begin with. So, with that being said, love, peace, and blessings. Please continue to just enjoy your life. Don't let nothing dim your shine. And with that being said, Peace.